He is Jalen Anthony.
What?
Yo, I'm David.
And on the cool check-in.
Together, we are Jalen and Jacoby. What is it that
we get a people what they want.
Voice cracked a little bit during that one.
Yeah, I got emotional, man. I get emotional.
It's an emotional time for NBA fans as we head into the draft. We're only 24 hours away from the draft, approximately. We're also 24 hours away from Lucca Dodgers doing this in the ACB League Finals. Shot clock running out, one possession game. Watch this little step back, flick of the wrist. Floater. I don't know if that's a defensive thing he's doing or a celebration at the end there, but this is Lucca Dodgers, one of the most exciting prospects coming up in the draft. He did a sit-down interview with Howard Beck of Bleacher Report, and he laid out some of his goals for when he comes to America and comes to the NBA. Would you like to take a look at some of those goals?
Yes.
Number one, this is my favorite right here. Date Jennifer Aniston. I respect this so much. I happen to be a big Jennifer Aniston fan. You know what I mean? And he's a young man. He's only 19 years old. I don't know if Friends, things take a while to get over to Europe. Maybe he's just starting watching Friends. But I'm a huge Jennifer Aniston fan.
Well, he's going to make that happen. In the States, I guess they would call her a cougar.
I guess so. But you know what? Age is just a number. Age is just a number. Absolutely.
Is she married?
No, she's not.
Okay.
I believe she's available.
Well, I like that youngster.
Doncic did the research and says, I think she's single, which I respect too.
Correct.
He did the research. He didn't just look at a picture, he did the research. Next goal.
He looked older than 19, though.
Let's take this one. Dunk on Porzingis. I like that. Dunk on Porzingis.
How about this? Number one ain't happening, but I think number one will happen before number two.
He did mention, he's like, oh, this is gonna be tricky. He's like, I can jump. He's like, Porzingis can jump too. Yes, Mr. Doncic, Porzingis can jump. Next, this is, I lied about Aniston. This is my favorite. He wants to buy a tiger. Why? Like Mike Tyson did.
You had a picture up on the wall of that same classic.
Underwear, wrestling, a white tiger. I like this one. What are the chances you think this happens?
Out of the first two, he can actually make the third one happen.
I feel like you should probably just rent a tiger and have some people over. You know what I mean?
Maintenance.
Yeah, it's just like you gotta hire somebody to take care of the tiger and clean the cage. You gotta make sure the tiger's healthy. You don't want those problems. Then he said this. This is a little bit more, expected. He wants to buy a Porsche, a McLaren, and a Lamborghini.
He can ghost ride the whips. He can have multiple if he chooses. He's a young man.
Yeah. And then at the very end of the article written by Howard Beck, shout out to him, he said, oh yeah, most importantly, the ring.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
One more thing.
We are talking about the NBA draft. Oh, that's right.
Well, he knows the teams are gonna get him. Are probably the Kings or the Hawks. So he's like, let's work on the Aniston thing first, and then we can talk about the ring later.
And the great American philosopher David Jacoby always says about expectations, you like to keep them low.
Keep them low. Keep them low. When you know you're gonna end up in the Hawks or the Kings, it's not championship or bust. But it is Jennifer Aniston or bust. Shout out to Jennifer Aniston. Okay. This one is interesting, too. I want to talk to you about. Things have changed a little bit since you got drafted, wearing the red suit. Mo Bamba is a prospect. He's likely going to get picked. Not Doncic. Doncic will be off the board when he gets picked, but somewhere 3, 4, 5, 6, Mo Bamba will get picked. Tall, great defender, some range for a 7-footer. Well, one thing he has done is he has not shared his medicals with the Grizzlies. He decided not to work out for the Grizzlies, and he's openly said, I don't want to play for the Grizzlies. Jalen Rose, what do you think about these prospects, these players, actively playing a role in telling franchises where they do and don't want to go?
Growing up, I guess this is considered 3 different words, but it's really one. Nah, 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 nah.
That's 4.
Nah, 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 nah.
4.
This is when keeping it tanking goes wrong.
Oh.
Because here's the thing. When teams are in the lottery and they start to fall into that category of those that are trying to get high picks, what you're forgetting is that you're also damaging the legacy of your franchise. Like, there have been teams to go down and tank and find a way to pull themselves back up by the bootstraps like Philadelphia. But it took a long time. And they got fortunate because they got 2 generational changing players.
Not only that, is some of those generational changing players like redshirted, which allowed them to tank even further.
That's where I was going. And the other thing is one of them failed to them in Joel Embiid because he has a history of injury, which we don't know if that's going to play a part going forward as it relates to his long-term future. So now when you look at the merits of who are the teams that are picking amongst the best of the best players in tomorrow night's draft. If you're a player, you like, oh no,
Suns.
You're like, I'm good.
Kings.
Yeah, you're right.
Hawks,
y'all do stink.
Grizzlies.
And you know what? I don't want to be a part of it.
I'm not going to turn this around.
I ain't
Mo
the guy
Bamba
for
is
this.
not, the Grizzlies are not Mo Bamba away from contending for a championship.
This is what I call true character. And that's who you are when nobody is looking. Mo Bamba looks himself in the mirror and says, I can't fix that. Don't even try to draft me to think I'm going to be the guy y'all put that on. This is so far out of my control. So if I was a player and I had that level of leverage, I would absolutely do the
Really?
exact
What's interesting,
same thing.
Doncic, who I love, he decided not to share his medicals with the Sacramento Kings, who had the #2 pick, and the Suns have pretty much said, we're going to pick Ayton. It's interesting, and other players didn't want to share their medicals, but Marvin Bagley, he wasn't worried about it. He's like, yeah, take me. Take me #2. Let's do it. And I kind of respect that he wants that kind of challenge. Or he's just saying, if they draft me at #2, I'm going to get 25 points a game.
He's saying that publicly because he's an intelligent young man, but privately, he like, please don't take me.
You have the fake smile on when he walks across the stage?
Hey man, I'm telling you, where you get picked is everything. I remember talking about this about so many players.
Yep.
Boogie comes to mind.
Yep.
It matters, okay? And if you are Marvin Bagley and you do get picked by the Kings,
Which will likely happen.
have they shown you that they can build a team around a player even if they have one? See, we're talking about all of the lottery picks that's on their teams that's been bust. What if they actually get a player? That don't mean they can be able to build around them.
No. And you've seen it with Boogie. They haven't competed since Vlade Divac was not in the front office and he was on the court.
I would do the exact same thing. I promise you I
It's
would,
interesting.
if I had this
Well,
leverage.
I have one piece of advice for these prospects. If you do share your medicals, read them twice and then pass them to the left. Moving on.
I like what you did there.
Lonnie Walker IV. Prospect, played in Miami. He's not going to go as early as some of these other players we've been talking about, but he'll likely go in the first round, right around the end of the lottery.
I wish I was the fourth. That sounded steamy.
Fourth is, yeah.
I used to love like Thurston Howell the third.
Yeah, I love Thurston Howell the third. Shout out to the lowlifes. Well, Lonnie Walker IV is a very interesting man. He loves science. He loves nature. He does a lot of research. And I read this article about him. It was really interesting. And then there was also this one time when he was at the draft combine, he was asked by our colleagues about Kyrie Irving and his flat earth theory. And here is how Lonnie Walker IV responded.
When you talk about facts and things of that nature, it's amazing to me that we discovered so much about this world, yet we don't know anything about this world.
Are you with Kyrie Irving? The world is flat around.
Earth is not flat, in my opinion, but the Earth, on my conspiracy, the Earth is definitely an illusion.
Okay.
That's my conspiracy.
That's new.
Maria, I like what she slid in there.
That's new.
That's new.
You got a new twist on this?
Because he's a college kid, and she didn't necessarily want to clown him, and they were really respectful to him.
Yes.
But guess what? I'm not respectful. And Adam Silver is texting me right now.
Uh-oh, what do you have to say?
And that's a failed test.
That's a failed test. I'm sorry, Lonnie Walker IV. The Earth, it might be an illusion. It might be an illusion, but probably not. Let's be honest. I like that's new though. Shout out to Maria. Coming up next on Jalen and Jacoby, me, Jalen, and Method Man. Keep it moving. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, it's time to keep it moving.
We be moving, you know we keep it moving.
Not everything in the world of sports and pop culture is worth discussing, so we have Keep It Moving. If you want to talk about it, we will hit the brakes. If you don't, me, you, and Method Man will just keep it moving. Are you ready, Mr. Rose?
Let's get it.
John Cena is willing to do something drastic to get Nikki Bella back. Hit the brakes or keep it moving.
I'm rooting for them. You know how we support power couples, but keep it moving. Stay tuned.
Moving.
We be moving, you know we keep it moving.
You know how NBA players are always uploading videos of themselves working out in the offseason? Jimmy Butler uploaded a video of himself working out in the offseason that you've never seen before.
Hit the brakes.
Let's take a look at this video of Jimmy Butler in his offseason training. So, what is happening here, Jalen Rose? What is this? Where did they get the outfits? Where in the world are they? Who is the coach? Why are they dressed like that? Why is there a large cross? Why is he wearing white Doc Martens? The white Doc Martens and shorts is the weirdest thing about this video, not even like the small sword fighting. What happened there?
They're just having fun.
No, take us behind the curtain. You're an ex-NBA player.
Okay.
What is happening there?
Off season, failed tests, out of the country, got the homie with me. We're gonna try something we never tried before. We're gonna post it on social media, and we're gonna get views.
There's a lot of things I've never tried before, but I don't think that is one that I would come up with on the list. Next, while hosting the World Cups, the Russians are running very low on a key element of hosting a party. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
I'll say keep it moving, because as long as they got the Moscow mules in tow, everybody be okay.
PJ Tucker spent a lot of money this season on sneakers. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes.
Okay. PJ Tucker says that he spent $200,000 on sneakers this past season. That doesn't even make sense to me.
That's where I was going, because whatever he plays in, I'm pretty sure he gets those for free.
Well, he doesn't have a sneaker deal. That was part of this whole thing. He doesn't have a sneaker deal, but there was a Chinese company that made an offer, but he didn't want to do it. So he said he spent $200,000 on sneakers. He really cares about his outfits.
Well, now I look at it different. I look at this different now, because you probably don't know off the top of your head how much money he made to play basketball this year.
No, but
that sounds like a good investment. If you don't have a shoe deal and you don't want to necessarily wear something that's being given to you, and you want to buy you some shoes to rock, I've done that a couple of times. Rock whatever shoes I wanted to actually wear. So it's 82 games, regular season. There are also a handful of preseason games, and they made it to the conference finals, game 7. So that was a lot of basketball. So now those dollars make sense.
And we'll see. He also is known for his style because he wears crazy outfits, and he was very prominent in that Warriors-Rockets series. Something tells me that next season he'll spend $0 on sneakers.
It always is funny in my mind when I hear other people get chastised or joked on about wearing quote-unquote crazy outfits like Russell Westbrook or James Harden, because people have been saying that to me for 25 years. So it just, sometimes when I hear it being said, it's been said to me so much, I just have to do a double take when I hear it.
You wore a hoodie and a blazer on Get Up this morning, but it's like 90 degrees and humid out.
I'm glad you went there. So let me teach everybody something. When I'm doing television, number one, if you haven't noticed, I'm indoors.
It's cold.
Number two, we actually have on air conditioning.
Very high air conditioning, especially in this room.
No question about it.
Appreciate it.
And three, I was fly.
Can we keep it moving on you? Let's keep it moving on you.
Thin hoodie.
Method Man, let's keep it moving on Jalen.
And I got to dress for 2 shows.
Keep it moving.
I got to dress for 2 shows.
Next.
We be moving, you know, we keep it moving.
There's an update on a potential big heavyweight fight. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
For now, just for now, I'm going to say keep it moving.
Okay.
Because
moving,
it said it could happen, but as it gets closer, we're going to talk more about that.
Some NBA fans are very upset about Ayesha Curry's new restaurant project. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
I love the Curry family.
Power couple.
Hit the brakes.
Well, she's opening a restaurant called International Smoke, which could be a rap album title, for real. And it's in Houston. Rockets fans are very upset about this. They've taken to Yelp. They're already giving the restaurant, which has not opened 1-star reviews. But I did some research for this topic, Jalen Rose, something you've never done in the history of this program. On the menu, they have some jerk duck wings and some other items that I saw on the menu. Grilled lobster. Will you be there on opening day to cut the ribbon and order all the grilled lobster in the building?
If it's not opening day, I will be there. No question about it. That's my favorite dish. But fans of Houston, and by the way, if you watch or listen to this program, you know how and why I love Houston. So, no shots. But y'all gotta get over it. Do y'all realize how many people patronize the business that you guys patronize?
Yeah.
That you just don't know
How could you be mad
their
at
background?
Ayesha Curry of all people? Ayesha Curry, please.
Because they beat you in the playoffs.
The Detroit Lions. Lions fans, man, y'all are hilarious.
I can't wait.
Oh, you can't wait. Can't wait to miss the playoffs again? That's what you can't wait for? Can't wait for Matt Stafford to get hurt again? Is that what you can't wait for? You got Jim Bob Cooter. Now you got Matt Patricia. And Matt Patricia is very familiar with a player that the Lions attempted to trade for. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes.
The Lions reportedly discussed trading for Rob Gronkowski. Jalen, it didn't happen, but I know you love your Lions. What do you think about the potential? What happened to you? You turned into a robot again? Jalen just turned into a robot again. We're gonna reboot Jalen. When we come back, we'll see if he's still a robot or not. Jalen?
Now is this picture as the draft approaches.
Mm-hmm. And he
Very
might
strategic.
not even get drafted.
And he probably won't get
He might
picked.
not even get drafted. But I do like the color coding of the do-rag. It feels like, oh, I'm going on vacation. I'm not gonna bring my black do-rag. It's my vacation teal do-rag. I like that.
And also,
I like that a lot.
I think the levels of the public saying people are jacked have changed. Because my brother Mike Bibby was jacked.
Yes.
To me, that's a slim fella in shape.
It's a sliding scale. There's a sliding scale. Well, it happened, Jalen Rose. Kawhi Leonard and Gregg Popovich. They met. They sat down. They broke bread. Popovich had to fly to him. Went to San Diego. This is being reported by our colleagues. Woj, one of them.
Bombs.
However, it was also difficult to secure this meeting because there are reports that Kawhi Leonard was upset about some of the things that Tony Parker and Coach Popovich himself had said while he was injured. First, let's listen to some of those comments that upset Kawhi. Here's Tony Parker.
Sneaky. No, stay positive. Just stay positive. I've been through it. It was a rehab for me too for 8 months, so same kind of injury. Mine was 100 times worse, but the same kind of injury, and just try to stay positive.
So that was Tony Parker. Mine was 100 times worse.
You know what happens when you get jammed up in your interview and you start stuttering?
Don't mention my name.
Don't mention my name. He didn't really mean to go there.
He didn't. It seemed like it was taken out of context a little bit. Tony Parker doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
But he said it.
And Gregg Popovich said this.
You'll have to ask Kawhi and his group that question. So far they say that he's not ready to go.
Is there any?
So we can't do anything until that happens. Then we would have to decide what's going on from there. But that's the first, thing that has to happen.
Heat of the battle. Somebody stuck a microphone in front of his face. He's practicing his basketball team. It's during the season. He's hoping to get in the playoffs. He's hoping to do some great things. He's hoping to get one of the top players in the league back. And they're like, what do you think? He's like, well, you got to ask.
Got to ask him.
And so.
His camp.
There are things that you hope don't get said in both of those situations. Open mouth, insert foot. Mm-hmm. But the most important thing that happened that hasn't been said, they misdiagnosed his injury.
Yeah. They did put him back on the court, and then 9 days later, he was off the court.
They misdiagnosed his injury.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why he only played 9 games.
But let me say this, and this is something that Charles Barkley alluded to as well, is I always look at intentions. They didn't lie to him. They didn't intentionally mislead him so they could get him back on the court. It seemed like they made an honest mistake, an honest medical mistake in regards to his injury.
I appreciate your maturity, but there's certain professions, like being a pilot or a doctor.
I didn't mean to crash the plane.
But you can't make mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's fair. Well, there's also this. And this one's a little weird. On Instagram, ESPN, they posted a quote from Tom Brady talking to Oprah Winfrey about potentially retiring. And then Tom Brady pops up in the comments and says, 45. Jalen, he's hinting that he's going to play until he's 45 years old. You are 45 years old. Are you ready to play in the NBA tomorrow? The NFL.
I was never ready to play in the NFL, but I can hit that corner three looking at some of these rosters, these tanking squads.
Do you know why you can still play in the NBA? Because you're a robot. That's why you can still play in the NBA. Me and my robotic co-host will be back tomorrow with another dope show to step to. Stop looking at me like that. That's creepy.